Hello everybody, welcome back to the HardReset.Info channel. Are you trying to decide between the GoPro Mission 1 and the Mission 1 Pro? At first glance, they look almost identical, and if you're wondering whether it's really worth paying extra for the Pro model, you're in the right place. So, in this comparison, we'll go through every important difference, including the design, menus, recording options, features, settings, performance, and of course, the price. So, I'll also tell you who should buy each model so you can make the right decision. So let's get started with it. First, we got the design and build. As you guys can see here, we have the exterior, and you can see that both cameras follow almost the same design language, and the only difference is that here you have Mission 1 and here you have the Mission 1 Pro, but other than that they look identical. So this is our front, these are our sides, so nothing changes, to be honest. They still look the same. And of course the back, which is also identical to GoPro logos here, and they just look like it. So they are identical here, and the dimensions are similar. And if we look closely at the lens housing, if we look at the USB-C port, which is hidden right here, and sometimes it may be hard to get if you don't have your fingernails, then you will notice that it is all the same. So we got the same battery, we got the same USB-C port placement, the same SD card placement, and if there are some physical differences, like for example weight, finish, logos, or button texture, this is where you'll notice them. So now let's turn both of the cameras on. So we're gonna start with the Mission 1 Pro. Now it's turned on. Let's move to the Mission 1. And now what are we gonna do is we're gonna go over into settings. So let's go over. As you guys can see here, we have the options. So we got the sport POV, we got the slow-mo, and also the low light. Here what are we gonna do is we're gonna swipe down and scroll to the right. Here, as you guys can see, we got the preferences, and it all looks the same. So as you guys can see, you can see that both of the cameras have a very similar familiar layout, and they are really similar to each other, making the navigation easy. So if you're upgrading from the Mission 1 to Mission 1 Pro, then you won't need to relearn the entire interface. Now let's go over and compare the available options. So here we got the setup cloud upload, but you need to have a subscription for it. Here we have connection, and as you guys can see, it all looks the same. We're gonna go over into general, and it's also the same, so you shouldn't be worried about it. Most of these options are just the same, so you should really consider paying that extra $100. As you guys can see, there is pretty much nothing different, and also the displays. Now we can go over, and from the displays we're gonna go to date and time. There will be no difference too. And here we have the regional. So we got the language, regional format, anti-flicker, and there is nothing else. Now we're gonna leave the preferences. As you guys can see here, we also get the same options. I've already showed you the modes, so everything is basically the same. And now what are we gonna do is we're gonna go to the Pro model because it adds some additional features. So here, as you guys can see, we can go over and switch to video. For example, we can go to manage let's go to manage modes, go to video, And here, as you guys can see, we can go over to edit settings. Now of course I'll do the same with this one. We're gonna manage the video modes. Here we're gonna edit the settings, and as you guys can see, here we have the 8K, and it's only on 30 FPS. But here, whenever we switch to 8K, we can easily switch to 60 frames per second. So if you're a professional and you want to start recording, for example, if you want to get high quality videos, then the GoPro Mission 1 Pro is definitely the best choice. There's every single difference in the camera when it comes to the lenses. Of course, the 8K 30 is still good, but as you guys can see, 8K 60 sounds better. Now as you guys can see, you can record 4K 240. Here you can record 4K and 120, so there's also a bigger difference. Also, if you go over here into the options, you can click on the plus button. You can create your name, and we're gonna save it. Here, as you guys can see, we can switch to a lot of options. Now if you go over into the slow-mo, here you only have the slow-mo, but here you have also the burst slow-mo. So the burst slow-mo, you can easily set it up to be 1080p, and you guys probably don't see this, but it's 960 frames per second. So you can record in slow-mo because it takes around 10 pictures as fast as it can, and it just combines them into a video. But here, if you create the slow-mo, as you guys can see, the highest you can go is 1080p and 240 frames per second. Also, the zoom, the image, you may notice that it all looks the same, but here in the burst option you can only enable hyper smooth, but here you can also use the auto boost. So some differences: you have 240 frames per second here, 960 here, so that's pretty normal. As you guys can see, a lot of those options are just the same, so you will definitely find yourself here in the settings. They look literally the same, and you can just easily create some profiles here. Once you create them, you're in them, and you can see that it's 16:9, 1080p, 960, here 1080p, 240, also 16:9. So there's also a lot of photo features. Here, if you go over into photo on both of the cameras, you can easily change the modes, and here you can click on the dot, go to edit settings, and as you guys can see, these settings may look the same. Here we have the 12 megapixel and 50, the same as here. The output can also be raw, and also the timer, scheduled capture, all of that looks the same. Here you can also change a lot of options. As you guys can see, let's just go over. You can easily set up the scheduled capture. You can also do that here. You can change the sharpness, but other than that, it's all the same. So you can just save those settings out, and that's basically it for the cameras. So beyond the menus, both cameras feel really responsive during everyday use, and switching between modes is quick. You guys can see that you can navigate the interface really smoothly. You can just do that and select a mode. And battery life is really also worth mentioning, because since these cameras share a similar design, their battery performance is very close in normal use. So if one model includes higher performance recording modes, then basically you may notice some faster battery drain when using those demanding settings. Now let's talk about the price. So the GoPro Mission 1 costs $599, and also it costs $499 for existing GoPro subscribers. Now, GoPro Mission 1 Pro costs $699, but it's $599 for existing GoPro subscribers. So if you're a GoPro subscriber, you can get the GoPro Mission 1 Pro in a price of GoPro Mission 1 Pro MSRP. So there's a $100 difference, and that means you're paying $100 more for the Pro model. So the real question is, what do you actually get for that extra money? So there are some exclusive features. So basically the 8K 60 FPS recording, a lot more features where you can basically just use your camera on the daily. You can record in higher frame rates, and use a lot of professional features that the GoPro Mission 1 lacks. Then basically that's all you get. So if you're mainly recording some vacations, cycling, maybe some traveling with your family, if you basically create some casual content for social media, then Mission 1 is probably the better value here, because it delivers the best experience while costing less. Now, on the other hand, if you need every available recording mode, higher frame rates such as 8K 60 and some more features, or you just want the most complete version available, then the Mission 1 Pro is the better long-term investment, because of course it will last longer. So, is the Mission 1 Pro worth buying? And the answer depends entirely on how you'll use it. So, this is what I was talking about first. But now, if you take advantage of the extra recording, some professional options, and the additional performance that the GoPro gives you with the Pro model, then spending the extra money makes sense. However, if your needs are casual, just like this Mission 1, then you shouldn't really spend that extra $100. But neither camera is a bad choice, because it simply comes down to which features you'll actually use. So, if this comparison helps you decide which camera is right for you, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to our channel for more comparisons. And that's it. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.